We get another chance to cross the river of death and into Shavante territory when some drovers are about to take supplies to the trailblazers. Riding our horses at a gallop, that afternoon we come to the river I first saw on our field trip. This time we cross it. Once we are on the other side, our guide, Raimundon, points out to us a semi-wild variety of maize and some dingy cotton plants mixed with scrub brush and jungle trees. This, he tells us, means we are in Shavante territory. We continue on, and soon we're riding along the spine of the lower elevations of the Sierra do Roncador. Dr. Bora becomes pensive. Doesn't it strike you as curious? Up until last year, the cartographers were arguing over the existence of the Sierra, and here we are riding through it, carefree, as if it were any old place, some place that's not dangerous. Mary says, you can't blame people for not exploring the area. Penetrating into Shavante territory has cost many lives on both sides. I say nothing, but she's right. We're in a zone now where we could get ambushed. What's more, the mules have slowed us down, and it's obvious we're still far from our destination. As it gets dark, we decide to find a place to bed down and stop near a pond, which the Shavante used last summer as a hunting rest point. We quickly set up the hammocks and light a fire in the middle of our makeshift camp. By now, mosquitoes are attacking us en masse, gnawing on our backs even through the hammocks and leaving us feeling defenseless. We are tired, but finding sleep is another thing. From the moment it became dark, we began to perceive certain far-off sounds, which could easily have been human cries. This should come as no surprise. This is the dominion of the Shavante. We're all too familiar with these killers who, until the recent Roncador expedition, had stopped all incursions into their land with bloodshed. But we can't claim the good luck of those 22 men, well armed and well trained in their compact little groups. There are 5 of us, 4 men and a woman, and my fear is that Mary would be a prize catch for the angry natives. We say nothing, but I'm sure that I'm not the only one whose mind unreels these dark thoughts. I try to console myself, but what good are my rationales when the howling seems to be getting closer and closer? There is no longer any doubt. The voices reaching our ears are coming from human beings. This is a well-known Shavante tactic, keeping the intruder awake all night by howling and wailing until dawn. Then, when the latter falls asleep in a state of exhaustion, the Shavante come in for the kill. I take my rifle down from the tree and lay it on the hammock next to me. I check my cartridge box and leave it open. My hand is on the revolver. I watch Mary preparing herself. She shows no fear. Listening closely now, I decide the cries are very close by. At times they imitate the whistle of some bird or a monkey or the roar of a jaguar. The yells are neither constant nor very loud, and yet at times these full-throated yells are, to my ears, nothing less than a war cry. Each sound tears the dense obscurity of the jungle, sending chills through me. Among ourselves we remain silent, the unspoken agreement being not to talk or make even the slightest movement. The Indians can observe us up close, and our position is terrible. The fire has not yet gone out, making us an easy focus for scrutiny, while at the same time hampering our ability to see what's going on around us. A sound like feet stepping on twigs freezes my mind. Staring firmly in the direction from which the noise came, I managed to make out the contours of trees. Palm leaves slowly stir, fanning the shadows. Everything else is still. And now silence. But I'm convinced that the natives are in fact just steps away from us, that they are determined to attack us, and no one will live to tell the tale of this slaughter. There are few of us, and we're poorly positioned, in our hammocks no less, and in plain sight of the enemy. surely we'll have little chance of defending ourselves against the hardwood clubs for which the Chavante is so well known. The minutes drag on with deadly weight, even as the howler keeps up his patter with steady intensity and at an unchanged distance. By now the fire is going out, and when the coals are covered in ash, we are plunged into complete darkness. I try to acclimate my eyes to the surroundings and begin to distinguish objects around me. Suddenly the cries stop. I can't see my watch, but it must be 4 a.m, meaning we're an hour away from daybreak. A mysterious silence that doesn't portend anything good weighs over the jungle, the trees, each leaf. Just as sleep begins to conquer me, I hear steps in the middle of the camp. I jump from the hammock, the gun in my hand. As I raise my revolver, I recognize the silhouette of Raimundon. He approaches me. "We've got to go," he says in a low whisper. "It's time." He repeats those words to each of our companions. We rise and silently prepare to leave. Not a word is said regarding the timing of our departure, but I believe we all understand Raimundon's meaning, and we are all in agreement with him. We have only one hope: to escape before the decisive hour, unnoticed by the Indians. Within minutes the horses are loaded and ready to go. Raimundon, the old tracker, leads the way stealthily, stopping here and there for every odd noise. We follow behind him with weapons at the ready and without saying a word. Toward the east, the sky begins to clear up before slowly becoming a smear of scarlet. Soon the advance trail comes into view. Speeding up now, we break into a hard gallop. At last we manage to put distance between ourselves and the natives, and perhaps between us and the hour that had been penciled in the book of fate as the time of death for 5 whites in the land of the Chavante.